Muslims are killing. Everybody is killing everyone. The other day they killed a very nice man in India for nothing at all. This idea of aggressiveness ultimately takes you to the killing part. You can't even create one ant. How can you kill human beings like that? Of course, this killing business is taken to the highest limit, like Hitler believed that he was top of the world. This is same. That you just forget what you are and you start assuming through your ego that you are something very great. Also in Sahaja Yoga I find recently there are some people who are saying they are gods, they are deities, everything. So this ego business is actually taking energy of your intelligence. And the greatest enemy of a human being is his intelligence, I think. Because it's so limited, it is so conditioned, and it is so arrogant, and it is so blind. Wisdom is a different thing. Wisdom you don't get in colleges, schools, universities, nowhere. Where do you get it? The wisdom. You get it through your spirit, which gives you a complete idea as to what is right and what is wrong. Whatever is wrong will be accepted by intellect, always. Intellect is not wisdom, one must understand. There are two things, wisdom and intellect. Now, Krishna was known to be the diplomat. He had divine diplomacy. That means what? He was very intelligent. No doubt, without that you can't do. I've met some people who are very highly placed, don't have much intelligence even, but I have now seen that this intellect is a dangerous thing. So Sri Krishna, he used his intellect. He is all powerful. Nothing can dominate him. Even his intellect cannot dominate him. He used his intellect. Difference between the two you should see. You should be able to use your intellect and not to be dominated by your intellect. So he used his intellect by which he solved many problems. His whole diplomacy was to use his intellect and use it for the purpose of divine. All the time, the divine in him was helping him to use his intellect. So the difference is that we are slaves of our intellect. And he is the master of his intellect. Not only everything. His conditioning, his master, his emotions, his master, his body, he is the master. He is master of everything. And when you master it, you see your intellect very clearly, oh, this is what it is suggesting. This is not. This intellect can give you very so-called positive ideas that you are the Lord of the whole world. This is supposed to be positive. Or the same intellect can give you ideas that you are nothing. This intellect plays on top of you. Now, you are not to be guided by your intellect, but by your wisdom, as you are Sajogis. So, you have a very good instrument of feeling it. Through your vibrations, you can make out what is good and what is bad. And you can see, sometimes as being human beings, there are some intellectual effects also coming in. But with Sahaja Yoga, you can judge. What is this intellect telling you? Because the intellect that you have has come out of what? Is the main thing. Should go to the subtle point. How this intellect has come to us. This intellect has come to us because our brain became active very soon. I have seen some children extremely intelligent, but they have no wisdom. If you are only the brain develops too much, could be a mother is a very intelligent woman and father must be very intelligent, inheritance would be great, so they get it. Or maybe the circumstances, like if you are born in a particular country, you suddenly become very intelligent. I've seen Americans, they read all the time. All the time you see them reading. Even English, they read. But what is the outcome of all that reading, I don't know. Every book they will read. If you ask them what is a computer, they know the computers, this thing, that thing, that thing, all things. I don't know how to even put off my television. If you ask them about television, they will know. Anything you want to know about mechanical things, they will know. Anything about politics, they will know. Whose father was that? And they will tell you that. No, this is like this is like that. All this is avidya. Is not knowledge, it is non-knowledge. So they think they are very intelligent because they know everything about everything. Now, with this intellect, as this consciousness comes in, they start creating very intellectual ideas. Especially in America, I have seen, they have got for children all kinds of funny things just to extract money. For example, there is a gollywog or something which has a birthday. Can you imagine? A birthday is there. And sometimes, you see, even the people have big parties for that. Then they started, let us have birthday of the dogs. So they are having birthdays of the dogs. Anybody who puts ideas into them. Then there are organizations where they say, all right, when you are going to die, you tell us what suit you want to wear, what tie you want to wear, what shoes, what clothes, then what kind of a coffin you want to go, plastic or wood or this and that. So it is to be prescribed. To such an extent that some people say, put us in the ice, you see, so we'll be there. The worst thing, I think, especially in Europe, is that they have nicely advertised and marketed the thing of going for a holiday. So, in Italy, supposing a person doesn't go to a holiday, he'll say, there's a crisis in my life. What? I couldn't go to a holiday. Then they said, you must go there, tan your faces, stay there in hotels. So many hotels have come out. Everybody has to go out. Especially I was surprised, the whole of Milan is closed for 1 month. Nobody you can find there. See, I think if they all go and live in jungles would be a better idea. They will learn much more than to waste their time on the seashore. They are spoiling all the seashores. They have no respect for the sea, which is their father. They have no respect for each other. The women try to slim down and to look very nice so that they could become nude there. The whole industry is so bad. If somebody says, would like to come to the seashore, I would not go. I would hate to go to a place to see so many stupid ladies in the sun, trying to tan themselves. Now this stupid idea, how could you accept if you are intelligent? There are so many ideas prevalent today, mostly coming from America, I must say, that you people follow. As I said, that America is the guru of all the Eastern, our European and English and all these people. Now, then another thing happens. You see the atmosphere in which you live. Especially in England, I have noticed. There may be nothing, There was a garbage cleaner who came to our house. And we had that time with us a president of the Hague High Court, imagine, the World High Court. So, I told him, you have to clear out all these things. It's too much. As usual, you see, they are very, I don't know what to say, but stupidly proud about themselves. You don't understand. I said, how much do you want? I gave him 10 pounds. In those days, 10 pounds was a big thing. He said, you don't understand the laws. You see, you are all Indians, niggers, this, that. Then this gentleman who was in our house, he came out and he asked him, why are you shouting? You nigger, you don't understand any laws. He is the chairman of the World High Court, and this stupid Englishman talking like that. The English are really, in a way, they are really dumb people. Because their intelligence never tells them that you are nothing. What are you proud of? Such dumb people they are. I don't know, it might have come frozen with the cold or anything. But they think they are very intelligent. Their scholarship was all right. But I was amazed that in the beginning of the scholarship that they had, they said that the black people are like beasts. There are so many books written about it. And they accepted that black people are like beasts, while these people were living like I don't know what, at the time when black were much more advanced. So this kind of an idea when they have, I see here also, I can see this, that English they think no end of themselves. But they don't understand, they don't know anything. They have no wisdom. They lived in India for 300 years, they never learnt anything from India. You can imagine their wisdom part. Their scholarship, some of them, but still ambiguous. Say, Bernard Shaw, I think, was very ambiguous. I place him as a very great writer, but ambiguous. And then comes the French, God say. Now, how have they denied Sri Krishna? You can see very clearly in French people. French wanted to become the highest in diplomacy. They lack diplomacy, completely useless people. They made our telephone in India the way they have spoiled it. So they started a cult of drinking. Now can you imagine Sri Krishna drinking all these things? They have a dictionary on drinking, on everything. There's books after books written. I mean, imagine how could any evolved people accept this kind of a nonsensical culture that you must know what to drink, what to buy, what to put in, what sort of tumblers to be put. They are all tumblers, nothing but tumblers, I think. How could they accept such a thing, which is so stupid, is a social acceptance. Prostitution is another social acceptance. Morality-wise, they have really denied completely the principle of Sri Krishna. The way they have been ruining their people and to beat up everything is racialism. Can you think that for the skin, you separate people? On the contrary, I would say the black, especially in India, they are much more evolved than all the white skins put together. Because they have wisdom. They are wiser people. But these white skins, they are going to, how did they get America also? They dominated so much, they conquered it, they settled down there. You saw yesterday from Sierra Nevada, you saw how people believed in wisdom and how they lived. They took away all their lands. Everybody, you see, is now nicely the owner of America. How? You are squatters. You came from another country, killed thousands and thousands of people without feeling guilty about it. That means they are not even human beings. And nicely settled as Americans. I don't know how this word America has come. But if it means Amar, they are not. It means A, Americas, they are not. Both ways, I don't know how this word has come and some sort of a meaning they attach to it, but their intellect grew much more. Why? Again, because of money orientation. I don't understand economics. And the way they have made this economics from their yarns which came out of their heads has landed all the countries into recession, all kinds of fraud, and also mafia. That is the outcome of the so-called economics they have. Surge economics is very different. We are not bound by all these nonsensical ideas that are prevalent as economics. Is nothing but exploitation, is marketing, is how to impress people, how to sell things, how to do this, how to do that. All this is nothing but, I would say, financial aggressiveness. What about Sri Krishna? He was the king and he lived like a king, but also he lived in a very humble abode in Gokul. He was not attached. So the first thing is that the way they are attached to money, any justification for getting money is all right. Once we went to a hotel in India. So we had some American friends. And as usual, I mean, you can't eat like Americans can, Indians can't compete. They can eat a lot. So they were eating, but we couldn't cope with them, really, to be very frank. I mean, we're no good. After some time, they said, have you finished? I said, yes. All right. They called the waiter, pack this out. I said, what? Want to pack this for what? We paid for it. So you paid for it, but I mean, in India nobody will eat a food which somebody else has eaten. No, you pack it. And they had no shame about it. So shameless. I said, we don't do this in India. He said, why not? I said, these are bad manners. But we paid for it. Once you have paid for it, then there is no bad manners. I said, we don't want this to pack. We'll have it. We'll have it in the night. We'll have it in the evening. I was surprised that such miserly people are saying that they're very rich and they think no end of themselves. Extremely miserly. Americans are superficially nice, must tell you. On my experience is they are not like English that they look down upon everyone. No, you don't feel that way with them. But they are very superficial. You give them 10 presents, they won't even give you one. They have no sense at all, no shame about it. Why? Because the whole thing is we paid for it. I mean, you go to any place, any restaurant there or anything, you'll be amazed. They pack things for you if something is left over in America. They do. To that extent, they can go in their miserliness without any shame about it. And miserliness is out of search of. You cannot be miserly. You have to be generous. You have to be giving. You have to feel for others. Is this the only way we can express ourselves? All this generosity is not to create a big sort of a hero out of you. But the worst and the worst and the worst is the Hollywood. Is the film industry. Under the name of industry, you can do anything. Now this Hollywood is creating such horrible films, but the worst is that they get awards for these worst films. There's one film they showed, I have not seen, I can't see it. They told me that a man is a cannibal and he's eating the flesh of human beings. And they have shown, and they enjoy. Very, very famous. Apart from that, not only famous, but they got awards for the best film, the best actor, the best. You must get a director from there and make him eat the flesh of human beings. It's the only way I think this horrible thing. Then they are producing other pictures. I've seen another one for a short time, where they show all dead bodies hanging, you see. Horrible. Why these people like to see such horrible things? What is their character? Where have they gone? Why do they enjoy things which no human being who is a human being will enjoy? And then it goes further. Their Halloween business, I saw a film, I said, my God, this is a hell in which they thought it was like the Ras of Sri Krishna. So it was Krishna consciousness, I think, that was working there. There are 1,001 things which can shock you in America, and also in England, also in Europe. I thought Austria was something better. But in Austria, when you walk on the road in the night after the program, you must take darshan of many horrible women there on the way. I mean, this is nowhere. There we are forced into it. And they can't do anything about it. As if it's a matter of right, you see, what you call that of human right, to see such women. And human right for these women to be on the street. All horrible things are happening around. So Sahajogis have to equip themselves much more with the Sri Krishna's principle. The first principle is communication. First principle is how you communicate with others. Start it at home, with your children, with your wife, with your husband, how you communicate. Are you gentle? Are you kind? Are you dominating? Aggressive? Just try to find out. It can go to any limit, this aggressiveness, either of the women or of the men. Here more women, I must say, I'm sorry to say. But in my experience, I've seen the women are very dominating. In India, men are extremely dominating. But here, I find the women are. Now the basics as human beings should have good manners. I don't find good manners, except that they wear good dresses. Maybe they might be wearing those special type of dresses and all that. All manners are in dresses. But when there are people together, they talk nothing but scandal. I mean, unbearably horrible scandals they discuss. This is something one has to understand, that Sri Krishna never talked of scandals. How can this, the country of Sri Krishna and all other these European countries are just very equipped with all the scandals of the world? I just can't understand what is the interest people have in the scandals. So to top it all is your media, which is absolutely anti-Sri Krishna. Because they have to make money. It's such a hand-in-glove business that the people like to hear all this nonsense. So they have scandals in the newspaper. At least about 30 years back, you could never hear such a thing. And all such books were completely banned. And now suddenly the whole thing has flowered so well that any magazine, anything you take, and you can't understand. What are they preaching? They are preaching the cult of destruction completely. And people take it and like it and work it out. They are using the women for their own purpose, and stupidly women accept it. Of course, they dominate. On one side, feel very happy that they are dominating. There was a lady who was boasting in one magazine that she has had 400 men in her life. Can you imagine? Now, there is no place for hell for such a woman. Where will you put such a woman there? I don't know. That's another problem.